Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon, and by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. And as always, thank you for all your support, including sharing, chatting, liking, and subscribing. Now roll that famous logo animation! Good evening, and welcome back to Computerized Start Live! I am your host, Justin D. Morgan, and I have the following people with me in the chat. We have Sloopy Malibu, Frank S., Joe's Computer Museum, Francois, Trina's Technobabble, Gut Bomb, Adam McGee, and I'm making sure I don't miss names. Garth Beagle, there we go. I thought I saw your name in there somewhere. Scarlet the Four-Eyed Cuda, yes, I'm late. I was about to come downstairs and then my feet said, put on a different pair of shoes. We have Sorcerer Stan. We have Eric's Edge. We have many people who are pointing out how late I am. Yes, I was late. And let's see here. We have SadMac356. We had Ryan of Everything is Broken Garage. Maybe he's lurking to hear me say hi. We have DJ Craze. We have Full House. Yes, just like Mr. Rogers. I was thinking that. But yes, welcome to everybody in the chat. Hope you're having a great day. I would like to get off and get started by saying my thumbnail is not some fancy Photoshop job. Dude, where's my keyboard? Alright. Then I'll get the YouTube announcements out of the way. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe and turn on notifications, because this Apple IIc will probably come back on the workbench at some point for wild and crazy reasons. Don't forget, I got a coffee goal, which, oh, I got the wrong camera to, nope, let's see here. No, it'd be that way. So the coffee goal banner is showing on the screen to, my actual left, but my me camera's right, and that's why YouTubers can't point, because it depends on what camera. See, in fact, actually on this camera view, it's right there. Oh, wait, I'm pointing at the 2C. Well, now I'm pointing back at myself. See, it's right there. This is why YouTubers can't point, because it's different on every camera. And yes, my Apple IIc is keyboardless. And actually, I do know where the keyboard that was in this Apple IIc is. The short answer, it's in Arkansas, but who's counting? So I have this box from Adam McGee, and I have managed to not spoil the surprise, even though I've had this box for a bit longer than I wanted to go before having the stream, but I was waiting on one other thing before scheduling the stream. Adam says he's never seen this type of computer before. Oh yeah, it's probably more recognizable when the keyboard is in place. I'm sure Adam has at least one of them. So, alright. We've got packing peanuts. Actually, I don't want to spill the packing peanuts on the Apple IIc. There we go. All right. So what Adam sent me are 2 parts keyboards. So we've got this one here, and it has the plastic backer on it. I think Adam said that this one was probably key-wise in the better condition, but someone decapitated the ribbon cable. So that's not good. So Adam sent me this other parts keyboard. It's actually from an Alps keyboard. So I guess if I were to find all the switches, I could probably make another Alps keyboard with it. Though I'd probably be cheaper to buy another keyboard than buy the Alps switches. But it has a ribbon cable on it that I should be able to take and put on the first keyboard. And DJ Craze says, all the keys are labeled plus. Yes, they are. So anyways, we've got that. And then combined with this keyboard here, which has all the it has most of the keycaps. It's missing the caps lock key. I did forget that I was missing the caps lock key. Well, I mean, I might have a caps lock key. But anyways, don't let this keyboard fool you. This keyboard is, like, really, really awful. I don't think any of the keys work on it. Because actually, I believe... no, maybe not. I was thinking this was the keyboard that someone had taken the spacer off of it, and I was getting the impression it might be flex. But anyways, yeah. Yeah, Adam had warned me. He took the Alps switches for repairs, but gave me the board so I could take the ribbon cable off of it. This keyboard could maybe be made to work if I immerse it in a vat of contact cleaner forever. But yeah, hopefully with these keyboards, I will be able to make a working keyboard. And I guess, I might have a place to steal a caps lock key from. Not that I'd necessarily need to put one on tonight. But there is one other Apple IIc keyboard in my basement, and maybe it would be only appropriate if I borrow its caps lock key, assuming it has one. But kind of be the it's from Jeremy's. I could also crimp a new IDC connector to that one I gave. But you didn't have the correct. Well, I don't have the correct one either, so I don't have any. Yeah, I don't have any IDC connectors, so I'll go for the swap the cable route. That's seemingly just as easy. Let me just take one look at this. Something looked strange. Ooh. Well, that is odd. It seems as if the Alps keyboard has a... Oh, wait, I think... Oh, the pin's there. It's just not soldered because there's no pad. Okay. So, yeah, I should be able to remove this. I'm going to desolder this ribbon cable, and then I'll solder it to this because I don't have an IDC connector to put on it. And even if I had an IDC connector, I don't have a crimper. And you're probably thinking, well, you can use a vise. Well, that would assume I had a vise. I don't have a vise. Yep, the cable should be the same on the PCB. And I just saw one that didn't have solder and thought there was a difference. But actually, it's just, there's no pad, so there would have been nothing for the solder to stick to. So, I guess there's no time like the present than to get busy desoldering. Except I'm now looking at where I set my phone down, because that's the way I usually turn on my smart outlets when I'm ready. But it would appear as if I set my phone down in a creative spot upstairs and didn't bring it downstairs. That figures. Alright, well, I guess I can reach around the workbench here, and I think I can reach the outlet without bumping things that should not fall, but do if I bump them wrong. There we go. The smart outlet is reachable by hand. Alright. Well, my phone will show up at some point. I probably set it down in a weird spot. Hey, Will Jr. 880. Oh, yeah. The one thing I did do, though, I clipped... Why am I trying to remove the case? I don't know why I'm trying to remove the case. I don't need to remove it yet. Alright, let me find a place to set this to where it's going to be safe. There is no safe spot. Oh, that's not convenient. Alright. Okay, that box will work. Alright. Alright, I guess we'll desolder from this cable here. I do have multiple backup plans in case the first of the initial plans goes sideways. I mean, after all, I do have this keyboard that I can try to loosen up the keys, but it's pretty bad. So anyways, I'm going to use Claris, the Wonder desoldering station. That will take a while to warm up to try to get the solder off these pins. I'm hoping it'll just... I mean, it looks like it's in good shape, so I'm hoping it'll just come off, but I'm also somewhat afraid that they put conformal coat over those solder pads, which means it might not just come off. I can't tell if it's conformal coated or not. So, if it is conformally coated over those solder pads, I may have to try to get the conformal coat off. Okay, Adam says he didn't have trouble desoldering switches, so maybe, hopefully I won't have either. Yeah, this board here looks like it's going to be less of a problem. Yeah, there's only one way to find out, and that is I gotta wait for it to warm up first. Yeah, and don't burn the cables, what Adam says, so I'm going to... I think I'm going to hold the board such that the cable is... I'm holding it as far away from the hot end as I can. And I will start with this side here so I can work away from the cable. Oh yeah. Okay, that did come right off, but there is definitely something... There's definitely something coating the solder. So let me turn on the smoke absorber so that it will draw the smoke away from me. Yeah, Eric's saying I could tape a metal shield to it, or I could just use my finger. Because actually, my finger's going to get hot before the cable does. because my finger is slightly closer. Adam says, working on this Alps board is easy. Have fun with the other one. Yeah, this is just coming right off. SadMac356 says, just don't burn yourself. Nope, I won't. Adam McG saying, all the best stuff's made in Japan. Yep. This keyboard must have been made in Japan too, because that's Alps. Ta-da! Wow. Garth says, moo. Actually, it's more like moof. It's Claris the cow dog desolder station. Alright, and there we go. There's not much left on this Alps keyboard. Adam says, because I was too lazy to do this work, Justin gets free parts. Well, thank you, Adam. I do appreciate it. Alright. Alright, now it's time to see how... I'm staring at this board and wondering if I really, really, really want to do it this way, or if I just want to use some solder braid. Okay, I'm looking at this board and I am going to... I'm going to drop the temperature down to my gun. Only because... Garth says, laziness is why I sent Justin the 2CI board. Neat. Yeah. Joe says he's doing moo tonight too. Well, alright, so I just bumped my gun down to 650 degrees Fahrenheit because I'm looking at this PCB and I'm concerned that it's just going to, like, self-destruct. Adam says he's used the Moo machine too at 350. Alright, well. Gut Bomb says, laziness is why I sent Justin the gross 2GS. Okay, well. Solder might be coming off. I've got it at 650. And if I have to take another pass at it, I'm going to use the solder braid very carefully. Probably at 650 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, 650 degrees Celsius might as well be like sun plasma hot. Incinerate board instantly. Well, if I hit the magic button, it's 350 degrees Celsius. About. Hey, K-Mac. Will. Scarlet the Four-Eyed Cuda says 650 degrees C is 923 Kelvin. I think 923 Kelvin is how hot the Captain Picard's forehead, or Captain Picard gets when you do something wrong on the bridge. Like right before he says, "Shut up, Wesley." Scarlet the Four-Eyed Cuda says, all temperatures should be in Kelvin. No negative numbers. I guess those freezing days will sound warmer, but they won't feel warmer. Alright, I guess now is the moment of truth. Okay, there is one pad I'm slightly worried about. I believe it's still there. I'm just a bit concerned about the way it looks. It's that one right there. Yeah, okay. Alright. So if I'm really careful, I should be fine. Alright, so it looks like... Actually, it looks like I've... Oh, there we go. Okay, so that I just need to be very careful about. And there. But otherwise, I think I got it out. And one of the pins on this ribbon cable fell out. I think we're fine with this keyboard. I don't think I've done any permanent damage. Yet. I just have to be careful. Alright, so let me get my ribbon cable. And should plug in. Just actually looking at the cable that was on the Alps keyboard, it's probably good that I am putting the nice 3M cable from an Alps keyboard onto this hairpin keyboard, because I think the hairpins keyboard is like some cheap no-name connector. But this is actually a 3M connector. This is the good stuff. So the trick is for me to remember how to use my Hacko station. There we go. All right. Cup Bomb says, in business news, 3M and M&M have merged to form Ultradyne Systems. Oh no. Oh, and I forgot where I put my Captain Tape. How can Captain Tape come to the rescue if I don't even know where it is? Oh no, what did I do with my Captain Tape? Oh, Captain, my Captain. Oh, there it is. Found it. Use M&Ms for the keycaps. Ooh, that would be a very delicious keyboard. I don't think I'd be able to get any work done if it was M&M keycaps. I'd start to play Oregon Trail, and, well, it wouldn't matter what profession I picked. I would have eaten the controls before we got to the first river. Yeah, Adam says at least they won't melt in your hands. Yeah. Alright. So I am going to very carefully tack the two of the corners in, while simultaneously not burning the cable or melting the frame. I maybe should use flux, but I didn't want to risk getting flux inside the keycaps, so that's why I am not using flux. Yeah, I just buy the 2-inch rolls. I'm mainly using it just to hold this connector in place. If I was thinking what I should probably do, especially now that the connector is held into place, is maybe use it to protect the ribbon cable. There we go. Because I've tacked the cable in. So there we go. That'll... Alright. Joe's saying rosin. I don't have any rosin flux. I only have the tacky flux. But I think this is probably one of those projects where next time I'll make sure I have some rosin flux, because then I wouldn't be as concerned about it. But that tacky flux, I definitely don't want to get it in the keycaps. Well, yeah, my solder has flux in it, but sometimes boards act like they just need a bit more help. And this board feels like one of those boards. Oh. Oh yeah, turn my fan back on. Seriously, I have one of those cheap smoke absorbers, and then I pulled a fan out of the scrap bin at work. It's one of those 120 volt AC fans, because the fan in this smoke absorber was 120 volts, and I swapped them because conveniently they were the same size. So now my smoke absorber has a satisfying spin up sound. Well, Joe has recapped his SC30 power supply. Brett's asking if anyone has seen Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. No, can't say that I have. Although I might have and just have forgotten. I did, though, come down to the basement last night to do some testing. Let's just say that motherboard that I picked for my first PC, it's got quirks and features. Let's just also... Oh, hey, Jesse. Let's just also say that I pulled out every Intel Pentium processor that I had and tried it in that board. And the only thing it would let me set any of them to was a Pentium 100. And it won't let you save the BIOS settings if you've got an Intel Pentium processor installed. That even the Pentium 233 or the Pentium 200 MMX, Pentium 100, it's the only thing it'd let me set it to. Because it's like you go in to try to change the processor, the BIOS locks up while you're saving the settings, and apparently it locks up before it saves the setting to CMOS. So, yeah. That's going to put a wrinkle in one of my ideas for the video of... Well, because I was going to, for example... Well, what if I'd put a Pentium 90, or got an Intel Pentium 90 instead of an AMD K590? But, well, if I'd done that, I would have ended up returning the motherboard, because turns out it doesn't like Intel processors, which is really, really, really weird. Yeah, good one, Gut Bomb. So, my first PC motherboard, unfortunately, is going to get low scores. Because apparently, I chose poorly. I don't think there's any way I could have put a Intel processor in it if I'd wanted to. Now, the one thing is, I don't have any of the Cyrix 6x86 processors, so I can't do a... Well, what if I'd gone with Cyrix test? But actually, I think the Cyrix would have been worse than the AMD. Hey, Jeremy. You joined just as I finished soldering the replacement cable on this board. So there we go. I now have the ribbon cable from an Alps keyboard on this non-Alps keyboard. Well, Got Bomb, yeah, it probably is a BIOS issue. But here's the problem. It's in the latest version of the BIOS. It was also in the version of the BIOS that my board was running before I updated it. And I think I'm out of versions of the BIOS that exist today. Yeah, I suspect a BIOS update broke it. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to find a version of the BIOS that it's not broken, because some of the older versions apparently were not archived. It's like the only ones out there are like the year 2000 compliant ones, I think. Well, Jeremy, yes, the Alps keyboard is better, but having keys is better. Yes, the Alps keyboard I removed that cable from has no even switches on it. So, yeah, Alps keyboards are better, but this was a parts Alps keyboard that all the key switches, Adam removed all the key switches from for repairs. But he sent me the ribbon cable so I could fix mine. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways. So that's why I was putting the cable from a Alps keyboard on this hairpin keyboard, is because the Alps keyboard was a parts one. Oh. And Adam says no. The keycaps would not fit. Yes, Jesse says having keys is best. Yes. Yes, I remember the language tapes that they would sell and advertised on radio as like a Kia Star. Yeah. No, a Kia Star. Yes, I know that is not correct Spanish for that. There are no keys here. I was making fun of the whatever that language tutor series that's old, I guess, language tutor tapes and their silly Kia Star commercial. Alright, so now I get to remember how this keyboard... Oh wait, this keyboard does not... That's right. This keyboard... Wait. Okay, now it's been so long since I've had the keyboard in. This keyboard, does it, like, engage in the floppy drive, or is that for the Alps keyboard? Top slides into the floppy slot, then set down. Okay, so I... Okay. Alright. Okay, something's off about my system. Oh, there we go. Okay, I see what it was. It was the, Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Hold on. I've got a, one of the screws is stuck in the case, and that's preventing me from getting the keyboard in. Let me see if I can't, persuade the screw to come out. Let's see here. I think I'm gonna have to... I think I'm about to give the screws some gentle persuasion. Is there a metal tab on the side of your floppy drive? No. I may... Okay. Let me go find the hardware for this. Maybe I forgot to put the metal tab on. It's been a while since I worked on this. It's possible I forgot to put the metal tab on. So let me go... 4-pound sledge. Actually, I was just going to try to tap it with a... Oh, it's only there for Alps keyboards. You don't want it. Okay, no. This 2C originally had a hairpin keyboard. Okay. Just... I think someone put a screw in this location that's the wrong screw, so I need to... I'm probably just going to have to... Yeah, hit it with a hammer. Or at least press down on it while unscrewing it. Which means I gotta do it off camera. There we go. That did it. Alright. No, I did not just hit the Apple IIc with a hammer. I hit the screw stuck in the Apple IIc with the end of a screwdriver. And then I realized it'd be better if I just pressed down on the end of the screw sticking out instead of actually trying to hit it. Joe, the only time I would ever hit an Apple computer with a hammer is if it's on fire, and that is the only thing I have to, like, get it off of a flammable surface. Then, and only then, would I hit an Apple computer with a hammer. And I would hope that no one would think ill of me for getting an Apple computer that was actively on fire on a flammable surface off of it with a hammer. Now, hopefully, the Apple computer won't be on fire. But, yeah. Gutbomb says, I would hit an eMac with a hammer if I wanted to break my hammer. Believe me, I was not going to hit the Apple with a hammer. Yeah. Yeah, SADMac356 says, if it's on fire, do what you have to do to put it out. Yeah. Short of it being on fire, I'm not going to hit it with a hammer, but if I gotta hit it with a hammer to get it off of a flammable surface to put it out, I'm going to do so. Although, hopefully I'm not in that situation to have to do that, because, quite honestly, if I'm in that weird of a situation, boy, am I going to have a story to tell my insurance agent. I can see him now. He's going to... yeah, I can see him now. I'm going to start my story. He's going to be like, hold on just a moment. He's going to go back and get a big cup of coffee and... Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let me... I won't put the lid on before testing it. Well, I'm not going to put the... Well, I was... Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I wanted to make sure I had it aligned, but yeah, I don't need to put the lid on. I'm not going to put the keycaps on either. Now, the thing is, I do know that this Apple IIc works. Although, just in case, maybe because I do have some interesting experience with computers, so I'm going to queue something up just in case I need it, so hold please. There we go. I wanted to make sure it queued up without actually playing. Alright, so I have something queued up in case I jinxed it. No, this never had empty RAM in it. This one was one of the fortunate ones that has Texas Instruments, I think. Joe knows what I'm queued up. Yeah. I actually need to get a button to press when I need to. Alright. So, All right. And now I have the power adapter. There we go. It's not the original one, but it's a good replica. Adam can mail me some MT RAM. Well, I'll tell you what, Adam, you can include some MT RAM in your next box. Just, you'll have to make yourself a note, because I'll probably conveniently forget to remind you. Okay, well, that's good. It was apparently turned on. Alright, let's see here. Is that the right input? No, that is not the right... Is that the right input? There we go. No bootable device. Jeremy saying MT or empty. Same difference, Jeremy. MT RAM of this era might as well be empty RAM. It has no nutritional value. Alright, let me see if I remember where keys are. Oh, that's not the right key. That's not it. Oh, you know, I could just, like, look at a keyboard. There we go. Is that... Oh, that's right. Control, open Apple, reset. No, that was right. That's Shift Control, open Apple, reset. Fine. P R R number 6. Nope. Oh. Number 6. It's kind of hard to type without keycaps. I'm going to have to put keycaps on this thing sooner rather than later. Alright. Apple IIc with 128K of memory. Not a surprise. Let's see here. Oh, there's no keyboard test. That's weird. Well, I'll at least run the memory test to see if memory's failed. Nope. Memory's still good. I guess there is no keyboard test. Okay, well. My floppy drive is not as springy as I thought it should be. Oh, well, the write protect tab on that disk is also bending out, so it might have gotten stuck on that. Alright. Alright, fine. We'll do the, yes, the 2C does have a ROM-based diag, but it doesn't do it. It doesn't have a keyboard test either. Okay, so alright, so this key could probably use a bit of deoxit. Oh, I don't know why this Apple IIc is being so picky about the program I'm typing in. I mean, it's a wonderful program. Should be glad that I'm not a... Whoop. Okay, that was weird. It kind of stopped responding to key presses for a moment there. It's a ROM 4X, Joe. The reason I know it's a ROM 4X is because I'm the one that put the ROM 4X in it, so... Also, I think you all just love to see me type without keycaps. I don't type properly, so this is actually painful. Alright, so it was 64447. Six 4447? Oh. Actually, the keys feel pretty good. Yeah, I missed the print command. Well, it's kind of hard to... It's kind of easy to miss things when you have absolutely no keycaps. Alright. P, R... Nope, that's not R. Whoops. PR stunt. Yes, for my next trick, I think I'm going to put keycaps on this keyboard so I can actually type. It actually, it seems like it's working pretty good. I think. So, let's, let me transfer some keycaps. Jeremy's asking spacebar first. Well, I don't know. I probably should do the spacebar earlier. I should probably also get my keycap puller. I thought I'd get these special keys here at the top, and then I'll worry about the actual... Okay, that could use a bit of... Adam's telling me the stabilizer bar is fun. Oh, wonderful. Alright. Let me, These are feeling just a little bit sticky. Not that I really care about them as much. They're probably the... That's true. No one really cares if they work. Alright. They're sticky. I think they will probably live their entire rest of their life in one position only. What's the spray I'm using? Just QD electronic cleaner, because I don't actually have any actually, I could put some deoxit fader in it. Don't put these caps on upside down, though. I'm pretty sure I got them on right side up. Okay, that was some deoxit fader. Actually, I think they're oh, hey Dave. I don't think the lubrication of those switches is the problem. I think they're just made worse than the rest of the key switches. Not that the hairpins are that great. That little indent should be towards the front of the machine. Oh. So I've got them on. So are they on backwards, Adam? I thought I probably got them mixed up. I get things mixed up really easily. Oh, you can't tell. So the part of the switch that's extending past the bottom of the back is on the, I guess, the bottom side. Well, if I got it on backwards, I'll have the fun of swapping it. All right. So I'm, there's a little dimple on the cap. The dimple's on the bottom. I guess the dimple is towards me. The back of the machine is facing away from me. The dimple is on the side towards me. I was thinking that's correct. That goes at the bottom. Okay, then I got them on right. I didn't get them mixed up. All right. So I'm pulling the keycap, enough of the keycaps off of this keyboard here so that I can get the spacebar out and put the spacebar on first. And then I will transfer the other keycaps. Just pull, install, pull, install. That minimizes the number I gotta keep in order. I mean, at some point I will clean these keys and probably retrograde the spacebar because it's a bit grungy. Especially because I think I'm going to have to steal a caps lock key from a different keyboard. And quite honestly, this is, I mean, someday I'll probably upgrade to a better keyboard. Oh yeah, I see why you said have fun with the spacebar. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun. Alright. So basically there's some little hooks. There's some little hooks like on the back side of these, and I think that's where the spacebar, the metal part has to go, but then you have to manage to get the keycap on the key switch, but yet keep the metal part back there. Oh yeah, and the little oh yeah, and there's a little spot where the white plastic stabilizers have to go to. Oh, this is just so much fun. And I think I got it. Let me put the keys. Oh, there we go, yeah. I got the spacebar in. Oh, it's not nearly as fiddly as the 2E spacebar. Well, hopefully it'll be a while before I have to fix one of those. Alright, there's 2 rows of keys. The Alps version of this has 5 stabilizer bars instead of 1. Wow, that's... Well, no wonder the Alps keyboard is preferred. Well, this will just be nice to actually have a keyboard that works. Oh, they're easy to install, though. Okay, that's good. All right, we're getting close. Oh, hey, Thomas. Well, I'm putting the keycap. I think it's fixed. It's kind of hard to type without keycaps, though. I'll know more when I get all the keycaps on. All right, we're on the home stretch. Not to be confused with the home row, which I've already put the keycaps on. Yeah, I'm gonna... Once I get these keycaps switched over, I'm gonna see if there's a caps lock key that I can go swipe on another keyboard. Of the two keyboards I have down here that have keycaps on them, these are the better keycaps. Oh, Adam got his 2E keyboard from MacEffects and shipped with 2 keycaps swapped. It took him a minute to figure out he wasn't going crazy. Yeah, I know, if you're not expecting the keycaps to be swapped, and yeah, that could be a couple minutes. Ew, look at this rubber thing that was on this keyboard. It's all cracked and broken, and I'm going to just throw it away. There's no repairing it. All right, let me go. Yeah, I remember you saying caps lock was the one you didn't have spares for. I think the other keyboard I have does have the caps lock key, but it was missing something else. Okay. I am going to take a moment to take some Windex to it. Well, I guess it's maybe only fitting because the keyboard controller from Jeremy's Apple IIc is on this motherboard. Because the keyboard controller that was on this motherboard originally was bad. And I did something silly, and I had bought a keyboard controller from Joe, but I had like just put a socket that I already had on the board, and I chose poorly. And Joe's board doesn't fit in the socket style that I picked. So, luckily, everything that is probably wrong with Jeremy's original Apple IIc's motherboard, the keyboard controller was not one of the things that's failed. So anyways, it's not in the greatest of shape, because I think it's had Texas dirt on it for a long time, and it probably will always be a different color than this keyboard. But, well, at least one more part of Jeremy's original Apple IIc can live somewhere, even if it's not the Apple IIc itself is not functional. There we go. All right, so at least I got a caps lock key now. Okay, now that I got keycaps, I bet I can. I bet now I can actually power this up and do something. There we go. Or there we go. There's those, I know, it was just working. But actually, if you remember when I first started testing this keyboard, and now they're working. Okay, that's... Oh, wow. I was for sure it would tell me syntax error. There we go. I knew it was going to tell me syntax error. Yeah, I won't use that wrong screw there. All right. Clear. 10. Print. And there we go again. Huh. Is that the key switch? Is the caps lock key stuck in the middle? I don't think it is. Now I'm having trouble with B, N, M, comma, period, and slash. It's like the it's like these keys through here. These are the ones I'm having trouble with. The rest of the keys work fine in the current caps lock state. The caps lock's not stuck. It's these keys here. I'm thinking there might be a problem with the... Well, okay, either these keys are like... Either I need to deoxit these keys, although, well, now they're working again. Oh, yeah, it was in lowercase because I had caps lock in the wrong state, but now it's in the correct state. Okay. Maybe there's a cracked trace. Well, they're working again. That's weird. Oh, it's CLS. I thought it was clear to... I wanted to clear the program. Alright, well, it seems to be working now. 10 print. No, I was trying to clear the program. New deletes the program. That's what I was trying to do. Yeah, home clears the screen. New clears the program. Well, then what does clear do? Jiggle the connector and see if that makes them not work. No. I'm trying to jiggle the connector and that's not it. Oh, clear deletes all variable values. Jeremy thinks it's the switches. I was wondering if it was the keyboard controller, but I don't know that those keys are on the same part of the matrix. I don't see here. I mean, it could be. Yeah, why are the switches typing now if it's the switches? Yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering. Well, I guess I can, well, guess let me look and see if I see any signs of... Alright. Try to look to see where those switches are. And... I think I can see from the way the traces are run. I don't think those are on the same... Yeah, Joe's got a point. There's a market for keyboards that aren't all fancy and light up. Quite honestly, if I was going to put an aftermarket keyboard in my 2C, I would think I would want one that looked closer to the original. I don't need one that's fancy, all fancy and lights up. Because I'm not going, if I did get a MacEffects keyboard, I'm not going to use the fancy light up features. Alright. Well, I don't see anything with the keyboard. Let me see if the keys maybe have mysteriously stopped working now. Oh, they seem to be fun now. Well, I mean, as fun as a hairpin keyboard can be. Huh. Adam says he's been pulling the hairpins. Well, I think for now I'm going to declare that the keyboard is working. Therefore, if it decides it's going to fail, it should just, like, fail. I mean, there was one thing I was wondering. Pick the whole thing up and jiggle it and see if that does something. Well, it dislodged the keyboard, but... Adam says hit the keys with a small hammer like Javier does. Oops. I turned off caps lock. I think the keyboard seems to be working. Joe is going to be hitting a bunch of keyboards on livestream this Saturday. Yeah, it's fixed. It's like just as suddenly as it was broken, it's fixed again. Whatever. I don't know. Well, you know what I say. Well, I tested the Apple II GS with it on Tuesday. Oh, well, that's weird. Those keys have stopped working again. Because apparently my name is now Justy. Okay, this is weird. I am going to do something that I wouldn't normally do, but it's a troubleshooting step. I am going to spray the keyboard controller with something cold. And hopefully, mainly just the keyboard controller. Oh, or I'm bang the caps lock key again. Adam says that sounds like a bad idea. Bang the, I am banged the caps lock key. It is not, that is not it. No, no, I have had caps lock 1. Well, tell me why it's only the keys V, B. Okay, someone please tell me why those keys stop working until I hit the C key. Adam says flex the keyboard PCB. I don't... Oh. Well, I flexed the keyboard and now those keys have stopped working. Oh, no, wait a minute. Oh, maybe they did stop working. Until I hit the C key. Okay, so if I flex the PCB... Well, no. Okay, what is it that I'm doing that's causing them to stop working? I mean, I do possibly have something that might help me troubleshoot this, but... Alright, let's go back to basic. Okay, I do need to fix the spring in the floppy drive. Apparently, it's not springing the disks out. And those keys are broken. The only thing I did was turn it off and back on again. I have not touched caps lock. So, V, B, N, M, comma, period, slash. Those are all not working. In fact, okay, but the right shift is working. Now, if I hit the C key, C, V, oh, no, it's not hitting the C key that fixes it. Are you sure that bottom row is all in the same matrix row? Or are you guessing it's all in the same matrix row? And there we go. It just started working again. And now they stopped working again. All right. Are you all... Okay. Has someone actually looked at the keyboard matrix for the keyboard, or is this just a guess? Because I'm actually going to see if I can pull one up. That is, assuming I can actually type in the right place. Alright. I have no problems pulling the keyboard out and doing some trace investigation, but I just want to make sure that we're informed. But I can't seem to find a keyboard matrix map. That's interesting. Oh. Sorry, I'm trying to search the web. All right, Joe can look at it. Joe, the keys that stop working are V. V as in Victor. B as in boy. N as in Nancy. M as in Mary. Comma as in comma. Period as in period. Forward slash as in forward slash. Those all share a row. However, Z as in zebra, X as in Xavier, and C as in Charlie work. Those first three keys do not stop working. All right, so okay, it looks like Gutbomb sent me. Gutbomb sent a link. Joe says, I bet you have a broken trace right at the C key. Because Z, X, C, V, B, N, M, comma, period, slash, all share a row line. Well, actually, according to what Gutbomb just sent out... Okay, maybe I'm not reading this right. But it looks like... Oh. It looks like whoever made this post did something really silly. ZX, CV, B, N, M, greater than, less than, question mark. Why in the world did they put the... Whatever. Okay, yep. Those are all in the same matrix line. Alright. Alright. We'll pull the keyboard out. Well... I wish we'd figured that out before I put all the keycaps on so that I knew how to type. Also, I have no idea how in the world do these... Are there 4 solder points per key switch? Okay, some of these... I'm trying to figure out what are key switches and what are not by looking at the bottom of this board. And there are, like, way more solder points than I'm expecting down on this board. No, I don't need to remove the keycaps to fix that. However, I do need to figure out which exactly... No, I don't have to remove these switches, but I do need to figure out where... Because I don't want to just, like, reflow the whole board, because this thing is really fragile. I was kind of hoping I could just do a spot fix and see if that fixes the problem, And actually, is that the C key right there? Joe might win one internet. Okay. For those of you that thought it was a broken trace, no, I don't think the trace is broken. All right, I'll get this on camera here. Just hold on while I move the Apple IIc out of the way. No, it's not a broken trace. Well, yes, you might. I don't doubt that you're very familiar with the subject, but it's not a broken trace. It's the other problem. Joe's like, what's the other problem? Or Joe's already realized what I mean by the other problem. No, I think the trace is fine. I now know which one the C key is just by looking at the board a little closer. Let me zoom in here. All right, so I believe here's the, I think this is going to be Z, X, C, V. So here's C. You notice something kind of like really not cool about that solder joint there? No, it's not a missing trace, Joe. It's like a really, really, really bad looking solder joint. Here, let's zoom into this. I think it's a cold solder joint. Can you say cracked solder joints for 100 and 200, Alex? All right. Well, actually, Joe, I believe those are both the C key. Yeah, that looks awful. So, yes, whoever said that's probably not the keyboard encoder, you were correct. All right, well. Joe says the row signal doesn't go through the C key, though, so this may fix issues, but may not fix everything. Well, those aren't the prettiest of solder joints, but Joe says check everything in that area. Oh! Something tells me I'm about to remove this plastic thing. Is that what I think it is? Yep. That's not good. Alright, which one is that, though? Is that one? No. That one? Okay, what am I looking at? There! Actually, that's on the next row up. I may have to... Oh, wait a minute. What's that? Congratulations. I think Justin wins one. Reflow the entire board because I'm not going to... I don't have the patience to check each joint individually. All right. I win one reflow job. This entire board is getting reflowed, whether it likes it or not. Ow, ow, don't hurt me. I don't care. You're getting reflowed. Joe says this board uses some wire links to effectively make it dual-sided. Well, I mean, the thing is, I actually do have an ace up my sleeve, even if I am wearing short sleeves right now, but, well, I still kind of want a spare keyboard. All right. Even if the spare keyboard is hairpin and awful and... All right. Alright, and this is how you reflow the entire keyboard. One at a time. That's okay, Adam. Thank you to everyone who is sticking with me, even though I get to reflow a Apple IIc hairpin keyboard. Even though, as I said, I've got an ace up my sleeve, and all I gotta do is open a box that's sitting right behind me. But where's the fun in that to see if I can repair a keyboard that, by all means, Apple should have never released in the Apple IIc? Although, if this is still unsuccessful at repairing this keyboard, I may pull all the keycaps off of it and hit it with a hammer. Yeah, reflow will probably fix it. And I'm reflowing the whole board because a couple of those joints looked like they were on their way to being a fully cracked joint. Oh, by the way, Adam, or not Adam, Jeremy, as a side note, when I pulled the caps lock key off the keyboard that was originally in your original Apple IIc, we'll just say that if I ever am successful at getting that motherboard repaired, you may need one of your Cherry MX switch keyboards for that Apple IIc. Because I think the caps lock key switch itself almost fell off the board just by the pressure of removing the caps lock switch, or keycap, so... But yeah, one thing I mean, that Apple IIc will come back out to play at some point, but one thing I need to do, because there's a hybrid module on the board that I'm pretty sure is dead. I need to get some paint and epoxy stripper, and yes, oh yes, I'll make a video on this if I, especially if I'm successful. I need to decapsulate the hybrid module because I'd like to reverse engineer it to see if it's possible to maybe make a replacement. I got the idea from Jeff Burt on one of his videos where he repaired a hybrid module for one of the TRS-80 pocket computers. And he basically got some paint and epoxy stripper and soaked it in that to get the epoxy off the hybrid module. And then he repaired the hybrid module that was in his, but I'm suspecting I'm going to probably just recreate the circuit that's on the hybrid module if it's standard logic. If I can figure out what it's doing. I think the hairspring, or I always thought they were hairpin, and it was kind of referring to the there's a pin that holds the switch together, and it looks like a little hairpin of sorts. And I'm sorry that I'm ignoring the chat, but I'm trying not to lose my place on this board. Because all you gotta do is multiply the number of key switches by 2 and then add some random number as to the total number of joints that I need to reflow. Because the thing is, it's not obvious enough which are key switches and which are solder links. And besides, since the keyboard flexes some when you type, those link jumpers could also be some of the cracked solder joints, so... getting close, but... Yeah. Yep, Joe knows that when you just gotta reflow a whole bunch of joints on the board, sometimes you just gotta do what you just gotta do. Or you lose your place and then you start over. Ooh. Right there is another very broken trace. Or not trace, solder joint. Whoops, and that. Oh. Oh, there's a, those were connected anyways. Okay. There we go. It has been reflowed. Oh, good night, Francois. I have reflowed the keyboard. And that solder joint that was cracked, I think, belonged to the caps lock key. Naturally. Alright, well, that... Alright. Okay, so I think that is the entire keyboard reflowed. I hope. Oh, I should probably put the stabilizer bar back on, because otherwise I will risk bending the PCB. I just have to remember which direction it goes in, because I forgot to look. Alright, hold on just one moment while I go check the other keyboard I have that has the piece on it. Oh wait, or is that the one that's just sitting right beside me? No, it's not. Because that keyboard was missing it. Alright. Alright. Here we go. So it was, this circle goes on this side here. I'm not sure that that lines up with anything. Okay. I'm just going to put it on the way it goes. I'm sure Apple designed it that way for a reason. Or their vendor designed it that way for a reason. For all I know, that circle makes the keyboard 2 cents each cheaper to make, or some silly reason like that. Alright. It's probably a good sign that it's not like repeating keys. Well, that's good. Oh, did I turn the... Well, I declare that a success. Now I wonder if I can play Oregon Trail and type my name. I think I fixed it. Yeah, I think there were a number of cold solder joints. Yay! I can type my name. Yes, I will invite my friends, alright, Adam. Who else wants in? Oh, don't all speak at once. Ah. Well, I think Joe spoke up first, although technically... Sorry, Joe. I was just taking anything typed as a I want in. We're going to go for 6 yoke of oxen. If you didn't notice, I picked bankers, so... And I know from last time that the thieves like to steal the clothes, so... I bought extras. Oh, hey, Sean! Geek with Social Skills is here. Let me see here. This is America. So, how about 25 boxes of ammunition? And let's see, spare parts. And, well, we'll take the max of each. There we go. That should be good. Oh. The speaker works good in this 2C. Alright, so I also do know that in order to get... So we are going to go a strenuous pace, but filling rations because I've got the food. And, well, let's continue on the trail. Alright. Sloopy says, seeing the people in this wagon train, I will wait for the next one. You find an abandoned wagon with the following. 1 set of clothing and 42 bullets. Oh, well, there's one of the sets of clothing I lost last game. Alright, well, we don't need to look around. Well, okay, 637 feet across and 6 feet deep in the middle. Joe is telling me that he always dies at this very first river every time since he was 5. Gee, I was about to say that I was going to take the ferry across, because you always get across if you take the ferry, but I think we need the danger. All right, I choose some danger. Joe says, I tried the ferry and somehow it sank. I kid you not. Well, Joe, you survived this river. Although, I'm sure if you were playing this game, it would have probably randomly picked differently. Alright, we're at another river crossing already. 4.3 feet deep, 244 feet across. Alright, we're going to attempt to ford the river because it's 4.3 feet deep. I will feel bad. Oh, no! Oh. No, Sean. Sorry, Jeremy. Joe survived. Well, I was almost sure 4.3 feet was fine. All right, well, let's, yeah, Jeremy, you apparently, drowned in 4.3 feet of water. Well, here lies Andy, pepperoni and cheese. We don't need to look around. Well, yeah, I lost 2 axles and 4 oxen as well, but... Sloopy says, and lost 2 axles. Where there is a wheel, there is a way. Oh no, Joe broke his leg. Uh-oh, it's reading the floppy disk. This could be bad. Oh, I found an abandoned wagon with 1 wagon axle. Well, looky there. There's one of the 2 axles already back. And Joe simply says, ouch. No, we don't need to look around at Chimney Rock. One of the oxen is injured. Now, it'll be fine. Alright, so... Alright, well... The only thing wrong with this Apple IIc now is the disc doesn't spring out when you open the door, but that's probably a simple fix, right? I'm not going to do that tonight. Yeah, I should... Oh, eat the rest of the fort. Eat the oxen for dinner. Well, we might have to do that if it comes down to me trying to hunt. One of the oxen has died. Well, I guess we ate it for dinner. Sloopy says, ooh, ox burgers. Sean says, health is fair. You need to rest. Yeah, we probably should. Adam has measles. Bad water. We'll rest here at this. Yeah, we'll look around because that's the way we can rest. I like how it shows grass there, even though the scenery on the driving page says desert. All right, we'll rest for 7 days. Yeah, maybe we'll rest for another week. All right, we will continue on the trail. We are going to head for the river crossing. There we go, we're at the river crossing. We don't need to look around, because it'll be our time to make a choice here. You must cross the river in order to continue. The river is 400 feet across and 20 feet deep in the middle. I think we can ford that, right, Joe? Oh, good night, Eric. Ford. No, we'll choose a little bit of danger. Interestingly enough, when you caulk it and float it across, where are the oxen? Are they in... Are they in the wagon? Soupy says you can't afford that. Well... The Gut Bomb says they're underneath. Yeah, the oxen get to ford the river while you caulk the wagon and float it across. Oh no, Joe, you have measles. We'll rest at this little landmark dealy-doo here. Gut Bomb says they have scuba masks on. Joe says, yes, they are in the wagon and you're under the oxen. Yeah. All right. We'll stop to rest here. And we'll say we're going to rest for 10 days. Oh. Oh, you can rest up to 9 days. Okay. I think you're good, Joe. Your measles have been cured. Joe says, me have measles? That's impossible. Alright, we'll look around so we can rest. Because I think luckily the health is only fair, so we will stop to rest for, I don't know, 4 days. Oh, another one of the oxen's died. Oh, good. We found wild fruit. At least we're coming up on a river crossing here. Wrong trail. Lose 5 days. What? 2 miles from the river? Wow. Alright, we'll look around. Is it me, or is that Indian wearing sunglasses? I mean, it's probably just me. Oh, we must cross the river. It's 1,004 feet across and 6.6 feet deep in the middle. Alright. We're going to caulk the wagon and float it across. Which probably means certain doom. Ah, the wagon tipped over. While floating, we lose 11 sets of clothing, 1 wagon axle, 2 wagon tongues, and 6 pounds of food. Well... And another wrong trail. Yeah, we lost our thief bait. Heavy fog. Very little water, but at least we're at the fort. Alright. We'll check our supplies here. Yeah, we don't look... Yeah! Alright, so what are our supplies? We have... Oh, we still have 6 oxen, 5 sets of clothing, 542 bullets. Alright, great. We have plenty of bullets. Wagon wheels, we got 3 of those. We got 1 axle, 1 tongue, 538 pounds of food, and $670. I guess we could buy some supplies here. We'll buy food. And how many pounds? Alright, that's good. That way I don't have to go hunting. We probably have enough food to get to Oregon now. A fire in the wagon results in the loss of 428 bullets, 3 wagon wheels, and 1 wagon axle. Well, I guess I should have bought more bullets back there. Well, at least we didn't lose the food, too, because I'm horrible at hunting in this game. Adam has a broken arm. I'm trying to get to the next landmark, and then we'll rest. Oh, hey, Curtis. Curtis says, somebody in the wagon ate too many beans, methinks. Alright, so we're going to stop to rest for 9 days since our health is poor. There we go. And we'll continue on the trail. Alright, so we could go to Fort Walla Walla, or we could go to the... we'll go to Fort Walla Walla, because... I don't think we have any spare... Or we have, no spare wagon wheels. I think at the fort we can, buy wagon wheels. Oh. Well, the Dallas is closer to it. It's a shorter trek, but the problem is... Yep, we have no spare wagon wheels. We have no spare wagon axles. There we go. Oh, and I guess we should probably stop to rest for, I don't know, 4 days. Oh, and I guess just so you can see the map, even though it has absolutely no landmarks on it. Yeah, I don't remember where the Dalles are on this map. I don't think it shows it if you skip it. Anyways, we're getting close to the finish line. Alright, now that we have some spare wagon parts. So Joe, no reworking boards. We can't have another wagon fire. Gut Bomb has a fever. Told you shouldn't have eaten that super Big Mac with... a Big Mac ox with cheese. But Dad, Joe says, but Dad, my hobby. Alright. The trail divides here. You may float down the Columbia River or take the Barlow Toll Road. Well, I'm going to take the toll road. Must pay $8 to travel the Barlow Road. Are you willing to do this? Yes. I think we need to stop and rest because our health is fair. So we are going to stop and rest for 9 days. Because... There we go. Because I felt like typing 9. Gut Bomb says, the only prescription is more Oxbell. Oh no! A thief came and stole 1 set of clothing. Great. Oh, we found wild fruit. Oh, look, there's a dragon up ahead, or whatever that weird thing is. It looks pretty. Hey, we made it to Oregon! See how many points I earned. Alright. Woohoo! Alright, 4 people in fair health, 1,600 points. 1 wagon, 50 points. So you can finish this game without a wagon? Okay. 6 oxen, 24 points. 6 spare wagon parts, 12 points. 4 sets of clothing, 8 points. 114 bullets for only 2 points. 782 pounds of food, 31 points. And $177 in cash, 35 points. Total of 1,762 points. And I gotta flip the disc over to see if that sets a record on this copy of the game. Hey, look at that. Well, that's no fun. There we go. Just team. Yes, I could have simulated the in key being broken. I don't. Yeah, Jeremy says. Jeremy, I think because we lost you in the river, we had just enough clothing for everyone to end the game. So Joe didn't have to go without any clothes, luckily. But yeah, there we go. I consider that a successful test of the Apple IIc, even though you don't use all the keys in this game. But hey, it worked. All right. Yes, the disc is write protected, so I'm not going to... Yeah. And that's partially so I didn't accidentally overwrite the pepperoni and cheese. Because I just think that's hilarious. I didn't save it. Nope. I didn't save it. I should probably make a copy of the game disc so that I can have one that's original and one that I can save scores to. I know. I didn't save. I'll make a copy of the disc one of these days so that I can save and not have to write protect it to protect the just absolutely weird pepperoni and cheese. All right, but yeah, Apple IIc has a working hairpin keyboard. I mean, it works as well as a hairpin keyboard can expect to work. And the floppy drive spring's a bit wonky, but I'm not going to worry about that tonight. Because that could be... Yeah, that could be annoying to get down to the spring. Yeah, I'm glad I fixed it too, Adam. So, at least I've got a working spare keyboard for, a working keyboard now. And then whenever I get if I replace this keyboard, then I have a working spare. Because it's always handy to have a spare keyboard for emergencies. The keys, I probably do need to pull all these keys and wash them because the keys are dirty, but yeah, there we go. It works. It's an Apple IIc. It has a keyboard now. I no longer have to worry about how to where I parked my keyboard. Because it's in the unit. So, yay! That's great. And if it weren't for the fact this spring is in the floppy drive is... Well... you know... I don't know if it's worth fixing the spring. I can just pull the disc out. Yeah, the floppy drive's not, it's not springing the disk out, but I mean, I can reach in and get the disk. Oh, I'm opening, oh, Adam says I'm opening it too gently. Okay. Oh. Oh, I see. Oh, no, it's stuck. Okay, I was it was kind of feeling like it's something stuck. All right, I guess while it's open, because I would like to at least maybe put one computer together this month. Yes, I realize it's only like the 5th of October, but if I get one computer reassembled early this month, then that means I don't have to worry about any other projects going sideways. So let me remove the floppy drive. It's easy enough to get it out. It's just 4 screws on the bottom. And it'll come right out. What's up with that power supply cable? Seems too tight. Yeah. It is a brand new power adapter. It's one of the aftermarket power adapters from the Apple II store or something like that. The Apple II online store. It is like really tight to get out though. I just kind of thought it was I was thinking it might be just tight because it's a brand new adapter. Okay, for anyone that was wondering about the original RAMs, because it was a while since I looked at them. So they all but 2 are Texas Instrument brands, because it does look like I had to replace 2 of them. Because it looks like ARD3 and ARD5 were bad. But they're all, well, I guess the originals are Texas Instruments. And there's my totally official ROM 4X. And then there's the keyboard controller from Jeremy's Apple IIc board. Like one of the apparently surviving components from it. And my rounded socket that I put in because I thought, oh, rounded sockets are better. Well, no, apparently I should have just gone with the standard dual wipe socket like all the normal people that repair those do. Alright. So let me see if I can figure out where the spring is. I guess I'm going to have to remove the shield here. Oh. Well, apparently that Adam's saying that the place I got this power adapter from shipped him a boxed Apple monitor stand and shipped it without putting the original box in another box. And then they put 18 stickers on it. Well, come to think of it, the power adapter they sent me, I think they shipped it in the box it came from their vendor in. Although in that case, it's at least... But yeah. Especially if you're a store like that and you're selling vintage Apple gear and you know Apple collectors buy things that are in boxes because it's in the box. You don't stick shipping labels or any other labels on the box. Or at least, if that's your intention and you're going to do that, you should let people know so they know not to buy your product. Alright, is this the spring here? I guess I can put a disc in. Oh yeah, Amazon, I bought, interesting. Okay, I see what needs to move. Well then, I will definitely keep that in mind should I ever see anything of any value show up on their store. Also, maybe someday I'll just get an actual real Apple IIc power adapter, but... Alright, so let me see if I can get the analog board out. So I can get to the spring. Alright. So here's the spring here. Alright, so let me... Alright. So here's the spring assembly. So when you push the disc in and down, pushing the disc in pushes this metal piece, and then okay, which will then catch on, there's a little catch here. So I'm trying to figure out where it needs lubricated, or maybe it was just, maybe it was caught on the, maybe it was caught on something. Is this shield maybe warped? Let me turn this so I can see it. Yeah, that'd be another, if I could, I've not found any dead Apple IIc power supplies that went for what I would consider a reasonable price for a dead power supply. Because, yeah, that'd be a good idea. Put a, lube anything that moves with lithium grease, yeah. That's, yep. I definitely want to use lithium grease here because machine oil is too messy. It will get on the disc. Alright. I got lithium grease. Let me grab a foam swab. I think all my... Well, if I can find the foam swabs. Alright, good night, Adam. Oh yeah, I think I'll get this floppy drive and ejecting nicely here in just a few minutes. Just as soon as I can find a foam swab. Actually, all right, here we go. So, all right, so here. I want to put a little here because this is a little metal on metal contact there. Oh, hi CW. I don't do paid Apple IIc work at the moment. It is one of those things that I do consider. I do always consider whether or not I think I'm to the point where I would take paid work on any particular model, but I'm not quite ready yet. Okay. Yes, if there's any models that I would take paid work for, I definitely will make an announcement. But at the moment, nothing yet. Basically, it comes down to one of the requirements is I gotta have worked on enough of them that I think that I could solve problems with a random one off the street. And the number of Apple IIcs I've worked on is actually relatively low. So, one of them I fixed by, oh, you, oh, you need RAM socketed and replaced. Okay. Well, I will have to check to see what I have in terms of RAM stock. So, yeah, that's actually if it is just RAM though, that's actually not that's actually an easier repair than if it was my Apple IIc is not working at all. Okay, I think I need a little more. Yeah, that's I have actually done because you can see on my board I did have to desolder 2 of the RAM chips, and I replaced them. trick is to have low profile sockets for the ones that go under the floppy drive. The trick is also to make sure, if I were to take that on, I'd need to make sure I have memory chips. Well, it's working better. It's still not totally great. I've lubricated other parts of this drive, so that's why you didn't see me like lubricate the rails or heads or anything, because I've already done that. It's kind of the spring is still a little sticky, but there's really not anywhere else to lubricate other than the spring itself. I guess I can I think it might just be a matter now of I just need to use it and let the grease kind of spread around all the parts. I am going to take this board back off and maybe see if I can't dab a little bit of, like, the tiniest drop of well, you know, I guess I could oh. Alright. I guess I could put a little more lithium grease here. If you want to go to my YouTube About page, my email address should be there. You can also reach out to me on any of my socials, like Twitter, bitbang.social, at JDMCS, or email address on my YouTube About page. Those all work. And, yeah, maybe we can talk, and, yeah, if it is just a matter of you need RAM socketed and replaced, that might be something I could actually do, assuming I have or can get the parts. The sockets are the easy part. The memory chips is the harder part. I mean, I think I've got some memory chips, but I'll just give you a warning, though. The memory chips are not exactly cheap. I gotta look and see what I paid for them. Yeah, they're getting more expensive because they're getting they're not making those memory chips anymore, and they're getting harder to find. All right, the reason I'm using machine oil here is because it's away from the disc somewhat, and it's a part I can't get lithium grease down in, because I want to give just a little itty bitty drop right around the screw head where the spring is. To kind of get down to the part of that that's moving. So, okay. Now, hopefully I didn't just create the world's biggest mess. Sloopy only uses 41256s. Yeah. That would be the other thing, that you can use a 41256 in place of a 4164. But you gotta do a little, I guess, mod on the chip. But Oh, good night, Dave. Yeah, I should be able to join your stream Sunday. It's not my vacation week yet. So, yeah, it'll be later in the month where I probably won't be able to join your stream. I don't know which Sunday or if it's 2 Sundays. I gotta figure out exact dates of when I'm joining my parents to the beach, and I need to, now that we're closer to the date we're going, actually ask them when they were planning on leaving and coming back so that I can. Yeah, you have to type pin 1 high or low, or yeah. So there is a mod. It takes there is labor involved to do it. But yeah, you can use 41256s. So, but yeah, there is a way to. Now on my 2C, I actually used 4164s. I think though on my TRS 994A, I think I did use a 41256 because I didn't. No, I used a. Oh no, on that one it needs 4116s, and I used a 4164. That's right. That's right. Yeah. So it's actually it's easier to go from a 4164 to a 41256 because on the that's right. That's why, yeah. Because to go from a 4116 to a 4164, you have to make a couple changes to the chip, because the 4116 has like 3 different voltages going to it, and the 4164 doesn't. I think it's only like 2. Okay. Yep. Yeah, it's catching on something. I am getting that distinct impression. It's, And unfortunately, this is kind of why I did figure out, though, if you open the door and it doesn't pop out, if you just push the disc in gently, it will usually spring out. But yeah, it is catching on something. Alright, so let me pull the shield off. So now, if I pull the shield off and do the same thing... Yeah, I'm having trouble seeing what it's catching on. Alright, so you push it in. You push it down. Oh, wait a minute. Is the problem... Okay, it does have a write protect tab. Okay, I think I got a disk that doesn't have a write protect tab. Here we go. You know, that would be kind of embarrassing if was the write protect tab. You know, I think it might be the right protect tabs. All right, well, let me put it back together. Oh, I found a random post-it note from a Commodore 64 floppy drive. It, for some reason, was stuck in the box of floppy disk. No, Commodore did not put post-it notes in their Commodore 64 drives from the factory. Oh, hi, Madison. Well, you missed me lubricating the parts of the eject mechanism in this floppy drive, probably to discover that it might be the right protect tabs on the floppy disks. That the right protect tabs might actually be what's catching on the sensor. Even though the right protect tabs don't seem to be sticking out, nevertheless, they seem to be sticking. Okay, so if I put the shield back on, and I put the non-right protect tab disk in, close, open, close, open. Okay, it works. So now if I take my Oregon Trail disc, which has a right protect tab that seems to be in good condition. Alright, close, open. That does seem to be getting stuck. Okay, now if I put it in this way, where the sensor's on this side, in fact the sensor's this thing right here that you can see the wires coming out of. Interesting. So yes, it does seem to be right protect tab related. Are the seams at the bottom of the disc frayed? No, they're not. The seams at the bottom of the disc look fine. No, it's the right protect tabs. Non-right protected discs aren't getting stuck. The right protected discs are. There is only an optical sensor on one side, so that means that something about the right protect tab is just not... It's getting caught on the sliding mechanism in the drive, but that's not really something I can lubricate, because then it'll get lubricant on every disc you put in the drive. So, well, I guess that's just a... It's not broken. Well, I guess maybe it is broken, but... It's not broken in a way I can fix it, because it's probably broken in a... it's the design of the drive, and the right protect tab is getting caught on the drive, so, oh well. Well, I mean, I guess it's not bad that I lubricated the spring parts, but... I mean, it's never a bad thing to put some lithium grease on metal-to-metal contact parts. In fact, that's probably good, a good thing to do. But anyways, Here we go. Screw the floppy drive in. Oh, there was one other thing I was going to do before I start to put this thing together for real. There we go. So the floppy drive is in. And actually, the one thing I wanted to do, and let's see, does this knob remove? No. Oh, that does not. I just realized I wanted to put some deoxit in the potentiometer, but it doesn't look like you can remove the potentiometer. Let me go look at a board that's not in that 2C so I can make sure I'm not missing something about the potentiometer. Okay, it does look like that knob does not come off. So instead, I will... So this is deoxit fader, which is good for potentiometers. And I will just simply have to... get some deoxit in under the knob, because it was kind of a bit scratchy, so... Alright, I guess I'll put some in from this angle too. There we go. Okay, that'll do. That'll have to do. That's all I can really do to that potentiometer. There, hopefully that'll have taken care of the scratchiness. Alright, I guess I'll put this keyboard back in. And floppy cable back in. All right. Right. Power, video. Wait a minute. Oop, did I, All right. Oh, there we go. I must have not plugged the floppy cable in all the way. All right. let's just make sure that... All right. There we go. So it's Apple IIc version 3 with 128K of memory. Floppy drive is... Well, floppy drive works. I've at least figured out how to spring the disk out if the write protect tab gets caught on the slider mechanism on the sides of the drive. Oh. On the sides of the drive. Keyboard. Got a hairpin keyboard working. Swapped the keycaps over from... So, Adam had sent me 2 parts keyboards. I put the 2 together. I took the keycap set I had. And I've got a working hairpin keyboard after reflowing all the solder joints and replacing the cable because... One of the replacements he sent me had the cable cut off, or they removed the IDC header. So, I guess lubricated the spring mechanism in the floppy drive, but it's the write protect tab getting caught. Played Oregon Trail, made it to Oregon. Yeah, I think that's a good result for the Apple IIc. And it's 12:06, so I guess it's time to end the stream. Although, I guess I can at least, I will have to figure out what I did with the spring, or the screws, but at least I can set the top on so that we can see the, there we go, see the Apple IIc with the keyboard in place. Yeah, I'll pull the keys off and wash them at some point, probably. But anyways, yeah, there we go. I mean, granted, I gotta put it on completely. So there's that piece and the handle. And that's not to say that I might not have other things to do to this Apple IIc, but because Adam had sent me those keyboard parts, I wanted to at least get the keyboard dealt with sooner rather than later. So once again, thank you to Adam McGee for sending those keyboard parts. It let me get a keyboard up and running. Yes, tonight's work ended in success. That is definitely sometimes rare around here, considering I do sometimes work on hard luck computers and other things like that. So, let's see here. Next week, I'm tempted to work on the SGI Octane one of the 2 days. I haven't decided which day yet. I was slightly wanting to ask one or more people that might be knowledgeable on SGIs if they would be available to join the stream, which will mean I'll have to find a way to bring them in. I don't have that set up yet. So I'm just directly streaming to YouTube tonight. Anyways, I'm thinking of doing that because I don't have as much SGI experience as some people do. My SGI experience is basically, I can look at it and say, it's an SGI! Which, to get one to boot, isn't quite enough experience. And I will have, well, let's see, I don't think I'll necessarily work on my first PC again next week. Although I will have some hard drives coming, so I don't know, maybe I'll have a miscellaneous stream to try to get a few things finished up. Although, then again, maybe I will. Maybe I'll look at some PCs next week, because there's a few that I would like to get to some state for December, being able to make videos in December. But then again, if I can remember to order parts, maybe the Color Computer 2 will come back on the workbench. See if I can fix that yellow bar. So, but yeah, I've gotta decide the So I kind of know what one of the things I'd like to work on next week is, but I got to figure out what the other thing is. So stay tuned, because if you subscribe and turn on notifications, then you'll know when I go live. And if you subscribe, then you'll see in your feed where I'll schedule the live stream. You'll see what the topic is. And eventually I'll put a thumbnail up. And smash that like button to let the algorithm know you like this content. Or do the other YouTube thing. I definitely know there are some people that know how YouTube works. I don't need to explain the other buttons. And then make sure you come back next time, because I don't always work on the same thing every time. I mean, you can see the shelf behind me there with goodies on them, and then there's shelves that you can't see because they're like behind, they'd be back. Reference my comment at the beginning of the stream about YouTubers trying to point. They're back behind. Well, okay, there you go. You can see one of the shelves now there, but I've got things to work on. It's just a matter of what can I work on, because I've got parts for it and think I can fill a stream with. So that's kind of that's why I do random sort of things. I don't like working on the same thing every stream. So I like to keep it different. So we'll see what I'll work on next time. It just depends on when I think about it over the weekend, what I think I can accomplish. But the one thing I do know, though, is my Ko-fi and Patreon page, I did post my streaming schedule. So at least you'll know the days and times this month that I'm planning on streaming. So you will notice that I think it's the 24th and the 26th or something like that. It'd be the Tuesday and Thursday of that week, whatever those dates are. I'll be on vacation, so I'm not planning on streaming. That's not to say that I won't necessarily have a computer with me in the event that I did manage to find something unexpected and do an impromptu, let's take a look at it live stream. But I'm not planning on any scheduled live streams while I'm on vacation, because it's my first real vacation in like forever. So I'm planning to treat it as a vacation. If I so happen to find something interesting, maybe I'll do an impromptu stream, but anyways, but I'm not planning on streaming. But so even though I don't know what topics might be, I'm at least going to try to get into the habit of putting a streaming schedule out at the beginning of the month, so that you'll know what nights I'm planning on streaming, and it also will help other people who want to like plan around me, that at least they'll know for a given, at the beginning of each month, when will I be streaming. So I'm going to try to do that. So those posts, I'll put them on Patreon and Ko-fi, but they'll be public posts. So you can follow me on one of those two services, because I believe that Patreon now this week has a feature where you can actually join a page for free. And I don't know if that's enabled by default, but now that I think they've done it, and they sent me an email earlier today announcing the new features, I just haven't had a chance to do it yet. Or I guess actually at this point they sent me the email yesterday, but I was at work when I got it, so I haven't had a chance to actually read it yet to see what it says to do to enable that feature, if I need to do anything to enable it. So hopefully by this weekend, if you wanted to just go join my page for free on Patreon, I plan to do that. It at least lets you get notifications when I post something, which would include when I post public information. So that doesn't give you access to Patreon only features, but it does at least give you notifications when I post even the public things, because I do use Patreon and Ko-fi to post public things and exclusive things. So, yeah, and you can also follow my Ko-fi page if you like, and it'll send you notifications. Or my social medias, Twitter, or I guess it's now X. The service formerly known as Twitter, now known as X, and perhaps next week will be known as some other thing. I'm at JDMCS. Also, JDMCS at bitbang.social if you are on Mastodon. I am JDMCS at Blue Sky. And those, I do post on those socials the day of a stream. I'll post, here's what I'm streaming. I don't usually get more than like the day of on those services. I usually, on Coffee and Patreon, I'll post earlier. So Jeremy says I call it X Twitter. We'll see if I do any shorts like Ron does. Ron's got the shorts game. We'll see. We'll see. Who knows? I might post some shorts about things I see on vacation. Because I'm sure there will be neat things. Can't necessarily guarantee I'll find any vintage computers. But anyways. Yep, and SadMac356 says, glad it worked. Great stream. Thank you. Thanks to everyone who joined. Oh, Madison's got a question. Hey, I know this has nothing to do with what's happening, but anyone know why my Power Mac G5 won't read burned disks? Like it just crashes when using them. Okay, I'm not a G5 expert, but if there's any G5 experts there in the chat, Jeremy says the drive may be incompatible. I'm kind of stumped. I thought the G5s had at least CD burners. I thought they at least had combo drives, if not what Apple called super drives at that point. So that is weird that it's not reading the disk. My only guess, and this is based on if it's a generic problem, is the laser could be dirty. The laser could be worn out. I guess degradation, maybe it's not lasering as well as it did when it was new. Or the drive could be dying. I would try another drive in your G5 if you have one. You should be able to use a standard, I think the G5 used IDE CD-ROM drives. Although in a pinch, you could probably plug on, if you've got a spare SATA cable, from if you got a spare SATA and the cable's long enough in that bay, you might be able to plug a SATA drive in just to see. But I would just try another CD-ROM drive, or I guess another DVD-ROM drive if you can find a spare. I don't think you need to have one with Apple ROMs for it to actually work. The operating systems that run on the G5 might not let you burn disks if it's not one that Apple shipped, but it should at least read disks, because there's really nothing special about what Apple put in it. The operating system kind of doesn't let you might not be able to burn disks from Mac OS like the Finder, but the drive itself should at least be able to read disks if you put another one in. But Jeremy has a CD rewriter drive from September 1995. That's neat. But yeah, I'd try another drive, because it sounds like the drive might actually be failing. The other odd thing is normal disks work fine. The drive might still be failing. I do know that a normal pressed disk is more reflective than a burned disk. Or not, the reflective's the wrong term. It's the difference in the signal level between the pit and the land, or I guess the 0 and the 1, or there's more of a margin in a pressed disk. The signal is the difference between the two coming off the disk is larger than on a burned disk. So if your drive was failing, I would expect burned disks would be the first to have trouble reading. So it's just a burned disk. Yeah, the drive could be failing, because if the laser's having trouble, burned disks would be the first ones I would expect to go if it's marginal starting to fail. So I would try another CD-ROM. I'd try another optical drive. Either if you have a FireWire external one, or actually you could probably even use a USB external one, or another IDE one. Just put one in and to try to read the same disk. just to make sure that if you have a known working spare drive, especially if you could test it on another computer first, and you put that in the G5 and it did the same thing reading that disk, but you can check that disk on another computer and the disk reads, then you might have a OS install issue. That would be the other thing I could think of if something's gotten corrupted in the OS. It does seem weird it would only do it on rewritable disks or recorded disks. If it was an OS issue, I would expect it to just not like any disk. But yeah. Oh, first time using a G5. Okay. Well, hopefully that helps. I'm not the biggest G5 expert, but I at least do know the optical. There's nothing special about the optical drives Apple put in the G5 other than it has a Apple ROM in it that I think basically is the way the operating system knows that Apple shipped it. I highly suspect 99% of the code on that ROM is the same that the vendor would have shipped elsewhere. It's just the string that the drive reports probably says Apple instead of that vendor. So Apple ROM. But there's nothing special about the drives. When Apple went to IDE and then to SATA, there's really nothing special about the drives other than the ROM might have some string in it that can report to the operating system that it shipped with an Apple product. For hard drives, that doesn't matter. But for optical drives, Apple used that as the way of the operating system won't let you burn the disk if it didn't ship with it. So, but you could use programs like Toast or some other CD burning software. Those softwares, they use their own way of burning the disk. So that let people who they didn't care if they couldn't burn from the Finder, they just wanted to use Toast or another burning software. Well, they could put any drive in and still be able to burn disks, just not from the Finder. So anyways, yeah, I'm glad I could help you there, but it is now getting late, so... But I'm always glad that if I can try to help someone with computer questions, bring them on. In fact, maybe someday if I can know that I've got enough questions out there, maybe I will do a stream where I answer your questions. We'll see if you can stump the Justin. I don't know. So leave a comment if you think that's a great idea. If just someday I do a Stump the Justin stream where you ask questions and I try to answer them. Yeah, hey, it's working out. All right. Well, on that happy note, because it is getting late, Jeremy's reminding me of how late it's getting. I am going to, now it is time to end my stream so that I can be functional at work tomorrow. I'd like to thank everyone for sticking around, especially while I reflowed all. I lost count of the number of joints on the bottom of this keyboard, but they're now reflowed. Yay. So subscribe, turn on notifications, smash that like button, because I want to see you here next time, because we will have more fun on some vintage computing project. Take care, have a great rest of your day, and God bless. Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon, and by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you've liked what you've seen, subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss the next video or live stream. And as always, thank you for all your support. I hope to see you next time. And until then, take care.